I read this quote from Howard Thurman. Don't worry about what the world needs. Find out what makes you come alive and then go do that thing, because what the world needs ultimately is people who have come alive.
Juvie Hall made their way through the pack to beach and established the guns and rollers.
The more I played derby and the more I realized that that's what I really love to do, and that I was getting good at it, and that people in the derby community loved me and cared about me, and it didn't have anything to do with how well educated I was or how successful I was at work.
3 o'clock? All right now. Can everybody have their gear on in about 5 minutes? Yes.
And that was like a huge revelation for me, and it helped me to not feel the need to rely on these images of myself that I had wanted to project to the past. And so I just sort of started to dismantle the areas of my life where I was not fulfilled and where I just didn't feel like I was being true to myself. Before derby, in my entire life, I have always been wondering, like, how can I make the world a better place? Can I do this by being an environmental scientist? I want to save the world. Okay, that didn't really pan out. Now I want to be an environmental lawyer. Okay, I don't really like doing that. So I was always considering what ways I could do something that the world needs, and I was never considering what made me come alive.
Let's head out onto the place on which we will skate.
I don't know how my being a more integrated person is going to translate into something good for my community or something good for the world, but I trust that it is. I feel that it is. And I know that derby is spreading all around the world, and I want to go and see and explore how these other women who are having potentially the same transformative experience, how are they translating that into change for their community, into change for their world. Women interact differently on the track, and we can be competitive and we can be aggressive with each other, and we can knock each other down, and we can push each other hard in drills and even disagree about how things should be done or who did what, and that's fine. It can encompass the entire range of human emotion and still be a different dynamic and a more healthy one, I think, than the dynamic that I experience with most women in other parts of my life. I don't know why this happens in derby, and that's one of the things that I want to explore. Like, what is it about the sport or the kinds of people that it attracts that allows this really unusual dynamic energy to come into being?
This whole thing for me. Juvie Hall doing her makeup. Looking perfect to go get sweaty and all fucked up. Look at your makeup. Yeah, well, I did this way, not right now.
It's not pretentious. It's not, you know, uppity. You can be exactly who you are, nobody judges you, and you can be fully expressed as yourself in this sport, which is great. I think there are girls that get into this recognizing that it is a sport, but that it's actually one of the most fun alternative communities that they could be a part of and be fully accepted into.
We played as a team. Every one of us was part of the whole, and I want that to continue on through the rest of the season. You got some things to work on, but that was fucking brilliant. Boom! Yeah! Boom!
That's what's made it different for me, and why I have latched onto it so tightly, is that, you know, this is way more than just a sport.
The camaraderie that comes along with it is very powerful, and as soon as you get involved, you kind of feed off of this energy, off of this feminine energy. The amount of support you get from women in general in the sport is awe-inspiring.
It pushes you to your limits, which is something that I've never done before. To push myself to the point where you feel like you're going to throw up, but you want to do it for the team.
You come into derby and it's such a kick-ass group of chicks that will not only not take your shit, but they will lay you out in the process. And You can't help but to be in love with that.
It's changed my life in so many ways as far as just being able to do things that I've never been able to do, say things that I've never been able to say.
Kind of gives you your confidence back, your power back. It lets you be yourself at the same time as being a super powerful person. And that's really awesome. And there aren't so many things that do that.
I started this project because I was curious about whether women in other contexts have had the same amazing experience that I've had playing roller derby. I'm hoping that by learning how other women are using this transformation in their own lives and in their own communities and in their own way to change the world, that it will help me understand how I can do that here. If the world needs people who have come alive, I know for me that derby is helping me come alive.